He was known as one of the deadliest snipers in American history, but behind the scope, behind the legend, was a man at war not only with the enemy, but with himself. This is the story of a soldier who saw everything and came home to a silence he couldn't escape. His name was Chris, a Texas-born cowboy, strong, quiet, and fiercely loyal. From a young age, he believed in service, in defending others, and in protecting what was right. That belief led him to the U.S. Navy SEALs, where he carried not just a rifle, but a solemn promise to keep his brothers safe, no matter the cost. In the dust and chaos of Iraq, that promise became his entire world. From rooftops and ruined buildings, he watched through his scope as the war unfolded below. Each pull of the trigger was a life saved on his side, but it also chipped away a piece of his own soul. He earned medals, the respect of his peers, and a name whispered with awe among soldiers: the Legend. But legends are often lonely. When Chris returned home, the world he had fought for felt alien. The quiet suburbs, the everyday routines, it was all too peaceful, too ordinary. The noise of battle was gone, yet it still echoed relentlessly in his mind. The joyful laughter of his children, the loving touch of his wife, even the celebratory boom of fireworks on the 4th of July. These simple pleasures became painful triggers, reminders of a world he couldn't leave behind. He learned a hard truth. War doesn't end when the guns fall silent. It follows you home. It lingers in memories, haunts your dreams, and weighs on you with a guilt that's hard to shake. Chris tried to build a new life, to be the husband and father his family deserved. But he could still feel the desert sand under his boots, the familiar weight of the rifle in his hands, and the faces of those he couldn't save. Then, he found a new mission, not on a foreign battlefield, but right here at home. He started helping veterans who, like him, returned broken, haunted, and searching for a peace they couldn't find. He listened to their stories, took them to the shooting range to help them reclaim a sense of control, and showed them how to find purpose in life after war. He believed that saving lives after the conflict was his final, most important duty. But fate, in its cruelest twist, had other plans. On a seemingly ordinary day, February 2nd, 2013, Chris was at a Texas shooting range, trying to help a troubled Marine veteran. In an instant, the man he was trying to heal turned on him. Chris Kyle was shot and killed. The hero had fallen, not in combat, but at home, a casualty of the same invisible war he was fighting so hard to win for others. The news sent shockwaves across the nation. A hero was gone. At his funeral, thousands of people lined the highways, waving American flags as his casket passed by. He was buried with full military honors, remembered not just for the lives he took, but for the countless lives he saved, both on and off the battlefield. Through her tears, his wife, Taya, said it best. "He was my hero long before he went to war. He was the best man I ever knew." Today, Chris Kyle's story lives on, not as a simple tale of combat, but as a profound reminder of the cost of war on the human heart. It teaches us that true heroes aren't fearless. They are the ones who keep fighting, even when they're terrified. And though his life was cut tragically short, his purpose endures. It lives on in the veterans he helped, the families he inspired, and the lives forever changed by his courage. The quiet echo of his sacrifice is heard not in gunfire, but in the very sound of the freedom he fought to protect. He once said, "I don't shoot people with politics. I shoot to protect my brothers." And maybe that's the real definition of heroism, to stand between danger and those you love, even when it costs you everything. Thank you for watching. If you were moved by this story, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more stories of courage and sacrifice. We'll see you next time.